Hey Tiny Boaters, in January we will be giving this boat away to one lucky winner at the East Tennessee Fishing Show, where we will be announcing the winner of the drawing. Hopefully that winner is you, and hopefully we can give this boat away to you and we get to meet you. See you there. Stay tuned. Alright guys, quick 10-second spiel. I'm still working on the bass boat. I just don't have any videos for it. I'll show you about it. There's my boat. There is the retirement series that I am launching this week. And then there's this monster. This thing's pretty awesome. Not gonna show you a whole lot about it. That's just a little sneak peek. And hopefully at the end of this retirement series, I'll be far enough along with that to actually give you good footage. There, I just told you what the whole video is. I don't know why you would want to keep watching it, but if you want specific details on each of those things, stay tuned. Series done for you guys. And it's all the boats that got us to where we are today that were in pretty cringe quality, because back then I was like new. Did a lot of things back then that I thought were awesome but are terrible in terms of what we have developed today. So what I did is I revamped those videos, explained them a little better. I get a lot of questions. How do the Valcos do? What's this? What's that? What about the 1648 John boats? So all the really prominent builds that I thought did a lot for the community, and then why these boats are being retired. And retired, I mean, as in you shouldn't, they're cool to look at, but you shouldn't be doing anything that's in them. I think to myself, what better way to like handle that all than just like retire them honorably. Talk about what went good there and then what went bad there. Some things that are not good practice at all, some things that are pretty good still, even to this day, that we use. And while this series is playing out, I'm just gonna binge build that boat and get it out of here. And I think that's how we're gonna play it out. And then I'll have a bunch of stuff for this one. And then while I'm editing the stuff and publishing it for that one, I'll binge build something else. And I think that'll work, because what I got going on right now is not working. It's like work a little bit and stop and edit, then work a little bit and stop and edit. And the build just drags on for months. I lose motivation. I have these binge moments where I just will throw everything into a boat. And I'm in one of those right now. And if I stop that to like edit, then I kind of screw everything up. Not great. Like I lose it. I lose this edge. I don't know. I don't have as much self-control as I would like to believe, but when I have these little creative binge moments, I either capitalize them or I squander them, and I have to capitalize on this one right now. This is my personal boat. This is like a Frankenstein boat build. It's got like 5-6 generations of stuff we did, plus a bunch of other stuff just thrown into it. And we're gonna gut this thing completely out and rebuild it all from the ground up. And after I build John's boat, I should have a pretty good grasp on how I'm gonna take on this boat. It should go much faster, because it is obscene. I thought this boat was pretty big, but it's so much smaller than that other boat. And I have better methods now. It'll be the third rebuild, and that's how much I like this boat hull. It's worth a third rebuild, it really is. There's the bass boat, which is currently saturated in rain water that froze. Let me give you an update on the bass boat, because we have not stopped the bass boat. We have just stopped posting videos on it. Doesn't mean we stopped working on it. Just stopped posting videos because they're stupid videos, and I think if I post something, it should be worth your guys' time to watch, and I just have nothing useful to post for you on the bass boat until a little bit later. But I'll tell you the plan. We did do things to this. We are still doing things to this. The back lids are missing. My son gutted them out and took them out, and now this water is going to cause a little problem. But once we get this water problem out, we're going to still be working on it. But what we're going to be doing is we're going to be making new lids, because I mean, you guys can give me your honest opinion. Should we just recarpet the boat, or should we show you how if you wanted to gap these lids for turf to where they actually look good? Because the lids are pre-gapped for carpet, so there's huge gaps. If we put no carpet, there would be monstrous gaps in between the lids and the deck, and it would look terrible and maybe less functional. Like you would lose things, and the gap would be obscene like that. So possibly getting all new lids made, and then a custom like job. We'll show you how to get it done. And then that way this boat deck is sick. I mean, it's a small boat, not the most functional deck, even though, I mean, so let's just try to make it as cool as possible. In the end, I'm really thinking about sending this boat upstate to sponsor a young gentleman, and I just kind of want it outrigged so he's like set when he does go in and after it. Plus we'll obviously use this for ourselves too. Between this boat and this boat, I'm gonna have my son gut this boat, pay him for it. Obviously, there's no slave work here, but gut this boat, and then he'll finish doing this back deck. So he's becoming his own, and he's getting in his own rhythm now. So, but you just won't see any of this because it's boring and stupid, and so I just don't feel it's worth your time to show. I mean, I'll show, if you guys are patrons and channel members, you'll see behind the scenes stuff about these things. I might float reels here and there for these. All right, so here this is. I'm just gonna show you a quick sneak peek. I'm trying to binge build this because when I have these little spurts of creativity, I have to capitalize them or I lose them. I don't have a whole lot of control over them. I don't know what to tell you about it. It's just that that's the way it is, and that's what compels me. It's kind of like a drug. You want to know what's also like a drug? Welding. I didn't want to try welding the same reason I didn't want to try meth, because I knew once I started I wouldn't be able to stop. So here we are. And it's a lot of cool things to show you in this, but this is a quick sneak peek of the center console monstrous gigantic John boat slash bow fishing boat slash fishing slash hunting slash multi-species. The first of its kind ever. We'll be putting that out. You should stay tuned for it. So if you want updates on those videos, like on my Smokercraft or the Nitro, they are coming. They'll be coming for the public in versions of like YouTube Shorts or Instagram Reels, sometimes TikTok. Like TikTok's the bottom of the barrel. It's like the gutter scrap of the social media platforms. So we post on there sometimes, but not very often. For those of you who've been around long enough, know that I don't do boats for the public anymore. And there's a few reasons. I've had a lot of time to reflect on what and why things went wrong. A lot of it really was my fault. But as truth be told, doing projects for you guys is much more rewarding and beneficial and much less risky than, say, doing a boat for an individual, unless that individual is the absolute right individual. But most people, it doesn't really matter whether they're bad or good people, or whether or not they were flakes or solid people. Like, it just seems that in bulk majority, most people are going to try and get the max out of you for the least amount of investment capital, and they're always going to try and rush you, because I guess that's just how contract work is. I didn't have a really good concept of contract work, and I didn't really realize that that's what I was doing until somebody called me out and said, Mike, this is what you're doing, this is what you should have done, and you're not really suited or fit to do this type of work. You just don't have it in you. And I didn't really like that criticism, but I have a mentality where all feedback is appreciated. Like, all Fortune 500 companies accept all criticism, all surveys, and all feedback. They don't ignore dissenting opinions just because they hurt their feelings. And so I took that to heart, and that probably is really the bulk majority of why things went south. Is because when I found out those people kind of manipulated or sucked me in, I really had a hard time finishing their boats and pouring my whole soul into that project, because I knew that's what was happening. And then an actual contractor has the discipline to just be like, okay, they got me, I still have to finish this because my name is on the line. And I was more like, whatever, I don't need you. Kind of, it was not great to have that mentality. I can't think the way I was thinking and do that. So how I'm gonna approach this one, because I still don't like contract work. I don't think I am suited for it. And this is not a contract boat. This is like a collaboration partnership that I'm doing with John. He controls a realm that I have no time to even figure out how I could even start doing any of it. But I do like what he does. Like, if TB Nation Outdoors is going to become a true outdoor company, we need to start doing more things than just fishing. And how I plan to do this boat in return is I'm just going to treat it like it's my boat. Because if I wasn't doing John's boat, I'd be doing one of my boats, and I would have to be sinking all the time and money and effort into it anyways. And I could only be able to do that because it's you guys it's enabling me to do it. So I'm just going to keep on doing my thing like I would do it anyways, and not worry too much about the investment on the other party's part. Although I still, like I said, I don't think it's going to be a problem with John, but I'm not going to worry about it. I'm not going to let it affect the outcome, because it's only when I didn't do that my boats have trended the highest. When I really just did my own thing. I only have, I don't know how many more builds I have left in me. I'm getting old. Any last thing that I do that I kind of break my back to make work, I want it to be a long-lasting impact. And I think if I just treat it like it's my boat, then I think it'll do well. And if you guys give me your input on what you guys would like to see into it, it'll also do very well. It's always done well when the audience kind of guides the boat. So give me your feedback, your opinions, what you guys want. And I think we got a banger here, guys. I think it's going to be pretty awesome. I mean, the work is cut out for us. Some of the rigs out there for the bow fishing, they're pretty impressive. Very serious rigs. There's some skill fabricators out there doing these things. And so that's who we got to go up against. I might not have a shop and I might not have a crew, but I have you guys, and that's something they don't have. Stay tuned.